An MBA is often seen as the hottest degree, but the key isn't the degree. It's a job that you get from that degree. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to University Living YouTube channel. You're watching ULTV Student Diaries. I'm Shafali Sharvastav, your host, your host. There's a program that is open to people without an academic degree in business or extensive work experience. MSc Management is the perfect choice for anyone who wants to take their career to a next new level. There have been discussions about the same course with MSc in Management at University of College London, Manchester University. However, since you guys wanted more information about this course, we are here with MSc in Management at University of York. Bringing further knowledge to this topic is Kajal, a student at University of York. Hi Kajal, welcome to ULTV Student Diaries. How are you?
I'm very well. What about you, Shafali?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining us from all the way across to UK. And so how has been your journey so far at UK? How would you rate it?
So it's been like 4 or 5 months that I'm in UK, and it was so difficult for me for the very initial days that I didn't have anyone here for myself, like no relatives, no friends. I was the very first one from my family to come here. But yeah, it was difficult due to the weather. Maybe I was not feeling well for the initial days, but after some time, I might getting adaptive to the weather, and now I don't feel that much colder than I was feeling before. So it's great. It's lovely meeting people here, getting new friends, and it is a totally new journey for me, and I'm literally enjoying the journey.
That's great. That's nice to hear. And of course, if you want to feel more cold, then I would suggest that you should take an exchange program for Canada. And because over there, people.
I was not aware that it is possible.
So yeah, like weather is something that's very different right now, like, all across part of the UK or Canada we talk about. But apart from that, you mentioned that you were feeling homesick also in initial days. Correct. Now you're gelled in, everything is sorted, and you're not missing home like you used to do earlier. Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a huge step to take this far journey, and there are multiple follow-ups and steps that are being part of this whole procedure. So I know we're going to discuss a lot about all that, but we'll start with the first initial step that one needs to take for this international student journey. It's preparing for an English proficiency test. So did you give any test, and if yes, how did you prepare for that? What was the procedure, which test you gave, if you can enlighten us?
So, well, if I talk about myself, I have given two of them. One is the IELTS, that is the IDP IELTS I have given. And the another one I have given that Duolingo test, because my IELTS test result were delayed due to some reason. So that's why I need to like convert my offer letter to the unconditional one, and I have very less time for that. So then I gave that the Duolingo one as well. So for the IELTS, I have prepared by myself. I haven't taken any classes. I did know a lot of people who already have gone through the procedure and the test, and I got the study material from them, and I got like the Cambridge study material, which is so popular, I know. And I have prepared by myself. I just went to some of my friends to know the modules and all that, how it works. And after that, I started preparing it. I think it is the thing near about September last year, when I thought that I want to go to abroad for my higher studies. And then I started preparing for the IELTS, and I have given my test in like February. Before that, I already have applied for the universities. And Duolingo is all of us know that Duolingo results came in just 2 days, and it was good experience in both of the exams. Duolingo is like app based exam, and the app helps you to prepare for that exam, and that's
Okay.
really simple.
Okay.
And the Duolingo exam is now being accepted by like more than 120 universities of UK, and University of York is one of them. I got to know it later. Yeah, I have given both the exams.
Great. So what kind of like you have given two exams. So if I want to ask, if you want to differentiate, what is the difference among the both exams? Which one you preferred, like going forward, if somebody is going to ask which exam should I give, which exam would you prefer?
Well, if somebody is targeting the higher ranked universities, then one should go for IELTS only. And there are two kind of IELTS, maybe people are aware of. One is the IDP IELTS, one is the UKVI IELTS. So if one is going for higher ranked university, that as York is a higher ranked university, so some universities, like, they create a kind of conflict where, like, which exam you have given. Sometimes they ask you for UKVI one. Sometimes they don't even approve the IDP one. There are requirements of the universities, and it totally depends upon the university that are they what they are asking. With that, the first step is we should go through the university requirements first to know that what university is requiring. So if I talk about the level of difficulty in an exam, then IELTS, definitely it is a difficult one, and Duolingo is just an, like, very easy exam. And IELTS is being approved by every university in the UK. Every university accepts IELTS. However, we have heard this, and it is fact, like, for UK, 5.5 bands are enough to get into universities. But the top ranked universities doesn't follow this culture. They ask you for 7 bands, 7.5, and some of the universities like Cambridge, Oxford, they ask you for 8 bands even. So yeah, for a person who's targeting, like up to low, every university who is targeting, like, who is listing 10 to 15 universities in his or her, like, requirements, then they should definitely go for IELTS. And if they have time, they should definitely go for IELTS.
Okay, so IELTS is something that you would recommend over Duolingo with the respect to its acceptance rate and the
Exactly.
authority that it holds in the market. Makes sense.
Definitely.
Makes sense. Now you mentioned that you started your journey in September or July, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So if we like, it's a very short period of time. You thought about your journey and then you immediately implemented it. So what initiated this thought, and how did you plan this such small, like, short period of over the short period of time? How did you plan out your journey as a
Well,
international student?
I don't consider it a short period of time, because I came in September intake this year, like 2022, I'm so sorry. But I thought in September 2021 that I will pursue my higher studies abroad.
Okay.
And after that, I knew that I need to do the IELTS for that. And I started studying for the IELTS. And what was the reason behind it, if you want to know, that I was pursuing my master's in political science back in India. I have done my graduation in social sciences with political science. But what the difference is that if I wanted to pursue that field of studies further, then I needed to do a PhD for getting a job. That only two ways apart from that. Either I can go for higher studies and PhD to become a lecturer or a teacher, or I can go for government jobs and prepare for way long to get a job. So that's why I thought of doing management, and UK universities are accepting every background students for every kind of courses. So that's why I plan to do a management degree, like, to secure a corporate job or secure a sector cooperatively, that I can work private sector as well, I think.
Right. You have just mentioned my point correctly that I mentioned. If anybody who wants to switch from any simple background to a business background, this
Yeah.
degree, this course is for them. We'll
Yeah.
definitely discuss more about this in detail. But I want to understand, you have studied in India, you have done your bachelor's here. I'm pretty sure you're in touch with students who are studying a similar program here in India. How MSc in management varies from India over there, like with context to the course, curriculum, and everything.
Yeah. It is considered by almost everyone that MBA and MSc management is same. But it is two different courses. People don't understand the fact. Sometimes I talk to people and they ask me what course you are doing. I was like, MS in management. That's MBA. Don't worry, that's MBA. But that is not an MBA. So, well, MS in management here. First of all, Indian universities, very less Indian universities offer the course. There are they like MBA is a hyped course in India. So MS in management is somehow denied by people, and it's like, what we can say, underrated. So,
Yeah.
well, MSc in management here is like totally based upon practical experiencing, and the education system is way different than India here. So here what happens is a bachelor student to a PhD student all do theses, but in India only PhD students do thesis. So it's so difficult for us to like observe the thing that we have to do a thesis in masters. How can we do that? So what happens here, what happens in India is like teachers came and they teach you and they deliver the lecture, and you have to write and 3 year exams while learning all the stuff and remembering that things. But what happens here is teacher came to you, delivers the lecture, second day they take the seminar for the same lecture, and you have like one-to-one conversation with your professor, they ask you question, you ask them question, then the third day you have the workshop for the same lecture to like practically implement it. That is the major difference I have seen. Like in the UK, the system is based upon practical studies more than like Indian system has.
Yeah, I have heard this, and the way you explained it makes it very clear that it's not just that they'll tell you and you have to execute it or you have to write it up in the exams, but of course, there has been a practical approach towards studies in the Western countries, and that was makes it more lucrative for any student who wants to pursue such courses, which needs more kind of practical exposure. So definitely does set apart the whole course in the context. And yeah, you
Yeah,
mentioned
and
it pretty well that
yeah,
people always consider MSc in management is similar like MBA, which is not
MBA, yeah.
the case. Yeah, correct. I believe it's still now students are getting more vogue about it, and they understand that MBA is different from MSc in management, and now Indian universities have also started identifying that course with that
Exactly.
respect. Correct. Okay, great. Now you mentioned that you got into University of York. There have been ample amount of universities. There were different university. Why you chose this university over any other in UK?
Well, I have applied for like around 9 universities, and I've gotten into like 5 or 7 of them. University of Liverpool was the one which was a good option, even the higher rank than the University of York. But what is the major reason behind this? Like the Department of School of Business and Society of my university stands 25th in the world in QS ranking. And University of York is a Russell Group member, which you can consider it is so similar to the Oxford.
Right.
Because there are very less, I think maybe 5 to 10 universities in the UK which are Russell Group member, and University of York is one of them. Thirdly, University of York is the funding source to the like almost every universities of the UK. University of York funds PhD programs to like almost every university of UK. And the SBS department is, and they're like their faculty is so good. I have interacted before I came here to the people, and the system is so supportive. I felt I have applied for more universities. I won't take the names. I tried to like communicate with them before I came here, but they are very less responsive. But the University of York like supported me throughout the entire journey of application to like coming here. And one of the major factor I already mentioned, it's like 25th in the world by the Department of School of Business and Society, and the University of York is like around 150 to 160 in the QS world rankings. And the environment here is so peaceful. This is also a reason I came here. Like York is a very small city, and the university is so beautiful and peaceful, and it like provides you very educational environment. Like the environment is so pretty here, and the academically I say that people and the faculty is so supportive.
Right, right. Yeah, experience is something that you are outlining over here. Experience does create a lot of difference. Like they communicated back, they reverted back on time. That's really important. That gives you a vibe that even if you're not there right now, they are throughout the journey. They're part
Yeah, I have
with you.
heard from people like universities take 5 to 10 days to give you an unconditional offer letter if you're converting it.
Right.
I got my unconditional one in 2 hours from the university.
So your experience has definitely been great. And yes,
Yeah.
there's one point that you mentioned that everybody should again reconsider whenever they're selecting a university. Don't just select a university based on that particular university ranking or system. That ranking is based on different courses. You should work and you should drill down and research more on the course that you are going to pursue, the course
Yeah.
that you are going to take, because ultimately as Kajal mentioned that the course is ranked 25th among others, right? So that's really
Yeah.
important. That's give importance to the course. The course will matter, not the university ultimately.
Exactly.
As I mentioned initially that, the degree isn't the key, it's the job that you get from that degree. So just focus on that, but course is something that will help you in getting that key. Now you mentioned that University of York is really warm, it has a great ambience, it has all the facility that an international student might need. Now we would like to understand what kind of extracurricular activities and clubs are there at the university, and because you're in a management program, what kind of clubs would you suggest for anyone to join who wants to kickstart their career?
Well, University of York has like a lot of clubs, a lot of, like every department have their 10 to 15 different clubs. And if someone is interested in sports, University of York has a separate sports village instead of the campuses. They have a very big place, like they have swimming pools, their gyms, like Zumba, and a lot of things. People who are interested in those kind of things can join. However, I also joined the Zumba club, but I have never been there for even once. So,
You don't have to spill the beans here, let them come and
yeah.
join.
So if I talk about SBS only, the School of Business and Society, School of Business and Society have a lot of clubs related to stock market, related to like startup businesses, entrepreneurship. And I know, like personally know a lot of people who are the member of that clubs. One of my friend is the member of like sport, like that stock market club, and he teaches people there. However, he is a student, he go there and he have to deliver the lectures like related to stock market, who are the member of that. So like that clubs also provides you certifications, like you were the member in the university of this club. That will definitely enhances one's profile, and when one is going for applying a job, and this will definitely improves your, like, personality in front of the interviewer and the, like, the people who are taking you in their company. So yeah, University of York has so much things extra than academics only.
So it has everything and anything under the umbrella, which could be of someone's interest. Just in case, as we
Exactly.
always say, then every university provide this opportunity. If there is something which is missing, which is of your interest, you can start your own club. And
Yeah,
just having a club does not mean that you can just go and sit and vibe over there, but also you get to gain a lot of lectures, information,
yeah.
and these kind of club, as Kajal mentioned, that there are certifications available. So if somebody who's into stock market, who's into a member club and wants to, enhance their career, grow their career into stock market, they'll get a beneficial account. They'll get preference over anyone else who doesn't come with that background or that knowledge.
Also, if someone misses their culture a lot, there are some cultural clubs as well. Like we have the Indian society here, we have Mallu society here. We have a lot of, like, a person can't miss their culture. They call, like, they organizes Bollywood nights, like for student who are from India, they miss their culture. They call dholis here, who plays dhol and like play Punjabi songs, boli, and everything is here.
Right. So you don't miss home like you will do initial days. Of course, it's very difficult to be apart from your loved ones, but slowly and gradually, people over there will make you like one of them. So that's the great thing about UK. Now, moving forward, what was your expectation when you started your journey as an international student? And has your expectation met the reality, or is reality check a little different over there?
Well, if I talk about the ultimate goal, I still have to reach that. But if I talk about what I expected from a university, for me, it was 110% like matching my expectation. Even I'm getting more than that, what I was expecting. Because
Right.
whenever we hear from people about their journey as a student abroad, like people like who go to Canada, they always, like, tell us like they have struggled a lot, they have faced a lot of things. But what I personally feel is I haven't like experienced anything bad than the weather until now. So University of York, if I talk about University of York, is 110% matching my expectation. Sometimes I think of this, like if I like went for some another university, what would happen to me? So because University of York, as we already talked about, like they are not making you feel homesick. They are like planning cultural events for you, like your culture. They are we just had a Lodi festival as well, kite flying competition. Who are aware of this in UK? I sometimes wonder, like University of York is aware of this.
That's
So
nice. That's
just
really
don't let you feel homesick. Knowledge, if we talk about knowledge, you are getting a lot from here. We are getting a lot. And as I already mentioned, the faculty is so supportive. They come and hi-fi you in the class. They come and sit on their knees to talk to you, to have a conversation with you, like to make you feel comfortable, to
right.
like make you feel confident. Like your teacher is coming and sitting like near your chair, on his or her knees and talking to you about the topic. Anyone can feel confident and like comfortable in this kind of environment.
Right. It's more kind of friendly gesture from their side. They want you to make
Yeah,
feel feel the same way like you feel with your friend, so that you can have any kind of conversation with them and you can be more confident and comfortable around them. So that's
exactly.
definitely creating a difference. Now, I know we are chatting and we are enjoying this conversation, but we're almost near the end of our session. But I still have a couple of questions which are really important for anyone I'll understand. Now, I want to understand, what is that one piece of advice that you would like to share with any student who's planning to study abroad?
Well, the advice I want to deliver through your channel is that sometimes people, what they do is like they take the decision very immediately that we want to move to UK. They don't plan it. Like planning is the key. Like wherever you are coming, some people plan from the city that I want to go to this city. Some people plan by the university, and some people just plan like we want to go to UK. So what a student have to do, just take your first step very carefully. And what the first step is, to choose your university, to choose your course. Just choose that thing very wisely, that it is perfect for your profile, that you will be able to pursue that, that you will be able to hold the stuff, like it will be like easier for you. Do those things, and definitely the course should be employable as well. Search for a course which is employable, which is easy to do for you, and which will be your cup of tea first of all.
Right. Search for a course which is something that you were planning of. Of course, employability is subject with your interest, but it should be something that is of your interest and you need to plan and research well. I think it's the
Exactly.
same mantra, it's the same pointers that we always talk about every time we
Yeah,
discuss this,
because
advice.
a lot of students do mistakes in this only.
Yeah, everyone whosoever has been on this show as a speaker, they have always suggested, whether it's a you need a representative, someone from university or a student, they've always emphasized on how important this planning research is for anyone, regardless that you're just a student, regardless you are staying here in India also. But it's very important to plan out your next plan of action, next whatever steps you're going to take.
Exactly.
Now, thank you so much, Kajal, for sharing this advice. And I really hope that this advice sink into the viewers of ours. So, which is really important,
Definitely.
because our next question is directly, related to this planning part. If people don't
Yeah,
plan, what happens? So, there is this huge accommodation crisis happening
exactly.
across the world. So, how did you manage? Why did you chose, accommodation before? What made you chose this? And there's a difference between PBS and an apartment. A lot of students think that, okay, they'll reach over there and then they'll book an accommodation, which like 90% of times lands into a problem, turns out into a problem. How would you recommend for these students how to go about it, how to plan their accommodation, which they think is not at all important or
Well,
really
as
important
you,
compared to the
yeah,
course in university?
yeah. As you already mentioned that there is a huge accommodation crisis through like in overall the world. So what I suggest to students to do is, university of every university have like their student accommodations, student apartments on their portal already mentioned. Try to book your accommodation before coming here, because when you passes through the immigration, they also ask you where you are going to live. Sometimes they even ask you, can I see your like residence proof where you are going to live. So don't like take this like point in like very careless manner. Be serious about it, because accommodations are like, if we talk about London, in London, the shortage is like, accommodation is very short there. People can't even find accommodation if they start planning finding that 2 months prior. They then also they have problems. But as I am in York is a small city, so it was not difficult to find accommodation in York. But a lot of students also suffered this a lot in York even. Then at the end they have to like move to like local areas. They are not living nearby the universities. They are traveling like 1 hour from their residence places to attend the universities. So I believe that we are very, very fortunate enough to get a student accommodation, because people book student accommodation like 3-5 months before they come here. So that's why the booking goes so fast and you can't get the accommodation. So I believe that go through the agencies, go through the student accommodation portal of the universities, and I don't think that there is like much amount they ask you for. They just ask you for 200 to 300 pounds for like pre-booking it, and it will be like included to your first month rent as well. Yeah.
Right, very well mentioned. Of course, it's important for you. A lot of students think that accommodation is something which should be the last priority on the list, which should not be the case, because you're going to invest, you're going to spend 70% of your time in accommodation post college, if I talk
Exactly.
about post universities. So we understand that you are a little worried if my class will come or not, if I'll get visa or not. But as Kajal mentioned, there are portals like University Living. If we talk about, you pre-book the property just in case if a visa is not happening, there is cancellation policies to take care of
Yeah,
your rights. It's not like that your money is gone into like uh black hole. So that's not the case.
exactly.
Right now, almost there. Like, to be honest, that's the last question I'm going to ask, which is a very important question for anyone, any student. If I talk about, what is the cost of living in New York? How are you managing your cost of living over there?
Well, York is pretty expensive than in other cities. As in that apartment I live is an ensuite one, and I pay 753 per month for that. And if you move to like another cities like Birmingham, Manchester, Leeds, you will get a ensuite in half of this cost. So it varies cities to city. As York is a tourist destination, as York is a smaller city, and just it is just because and based upon the university only. So that's why it's expensive. And we all are aware of recession and inflation in York, in the UK. So that's why things are getting expensive. That's not a big deal. Just find a suitable accommodation for you. Definitely, agencies like University Living will sort accommodation according to the students' requirement and their budget. So university in the city of York, it is pretty expensive, I can say. But if we move like to the other cities, it is like cheaper, and like you people can get the accommodation half of the amount.
Ag-
And yeah, but
Agree.
however, it is expensive. We have like a lot of facilities, like we have their yoga room, theater, gaming area, PS5 area, and the gym as well, and the launch areas in which we can organize our friends parties as well.
Right. So it comprises all the additional activities that you'll be paying extra when you're living in an
Yeah.
apartment. That's what
Yeah.
PPSA is. But I want to understand, what is the cost of grocery that you incur over a week period of time? If you have to travel through bus or tube, what is the cost like this? What is the cost of living in that manner, excluding accommodation, we want to understand.
Yeah, if a person is living like single, or if one is like sharing things with people, for a single person the cost of groceries would be like 100 to 150 pounds PCM. So, and the travel costing, if you're asking, fortunately United Kingdom have one of the best traveling sources. Their public transportation is so good. So like we have heard from people in Canada, like buses comes after 1 or 2 or 3 or, so it's so easy to travel in the United Kingdom for due to the public transportation. And for students it's also easy. Like for students, you can get the monthly bus passes, you can get the term bus passes, and which cost you around like 40 to 50 pounds per month and 90 pounds per term. So it is a good deal, I think, because if you like travel day by day and you are paying for every ticket, it will cost you more. It will cost you
Right.
like whatever you paying daily on the daily basis, the amount you are paying for 10 days, in that amount you can get the pass.
Right, right. And of course, there are multiple discount offers that students get to avail while they are in UK. And we have already discussed this multiple times. I believe a lot of student must have seen our departure events and other events. If not, you guys can go on our playlist and check it out. We have talked about Oyster card and every such card which can give you benefits to avail
Yeah.
these offers. Thank you so much, Kajal, for joining us and sharing this nice information, great insightful information for all the students. However, I know you've already suggested students to plan and research well. Is there
Yeah.
any 2 cents of advice apart from planning and research that you would like to share with them?
Yeah, that's we already have discussed the accommodation. So your academics and accommodation plays 50-50 role of in your like study abroad journey. So don't like be careless about the accommodation. Go through student living, go through your university's portal, ask your seniors, and just book your accommodation before coming here, because instead you are going to suffer. That's only the thing I can say.
So, student living is like a page that you're suggesting, or you're talking about university living?
So, well, universities, through universities, when you go to the university portal of like, accommodations, sometimes universities, when you like going to apply for the accommodation on time, on very like emergency time, university will charge you double.
Okay, okay, that's the case. Then I think, yeah, of course, if you are planning ahead, then definitely you should explore all the options. Otherwise, also,
Yeah.
I think you should definitely go and check us out. I believe Kajal has a great experience with us. So really, thank you again,
Yeah.
Kajal, for that. So,
Thank you so
guys,
much, Shefali.
planning, research, and executing things accordingly plays a very vital role in your journey. On this note, we'll be closing our session. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you found it useful. Looking forward to seeing you guys next Friday at 5 p.m. Stay tuned to our social media handles for more information. Thank you so much, Kajal, for joining us again.
Thank you so much, Shefali, for having me here.